Well, again, as always, we as physicians are getting screwed because non-physician administrator in the government has come up with a new set of rules, new set of regulations that have nothing to do with reducing the overall burden of healthcare as far as expenditures are concerned, and has nothing to do with improving healthcare. Hello, I'm Dr. Alexander Lakowski with the Reimbursement Rx Extra Update. This week, we want to focus solely and exclusively on a brand new development that's happening right now as we speak. We've just learned that the Trump administration is proposing a new way of paying doctors under Medicare. Yes, the Medicare reform is here. But this is not what you think. The way we all paid right now, whether you're a specialist or primary care doctor, is that you get paid for level visits, level service visits when you see patients in the office. And there are 5 level visits from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 99211 through 99215. Only 4 of those are used for doctor visits, levels 2 through 4. The same thing for new patients, as they also have their own set of visit codes. And the more complicated the patient is, the more things you do for your patients, the more you get paid per each level of service. Now, Medicare sets its rates depending upon your region. So depending upon which state or which county within a state you're in, your reimbursements for a specific level of service may vary. Now, the proposal is that we all get paid the same, regardless of the level of service. Now, what the government folks are telling us is that, well, we'd like to reduce the burden set upon you. We'd like to reduce the burden of paperwork, and we want you to spend time with patients and not focus so much on paperwork. Well, let's elaborate on this point a little bit. Of course, when we see patients for more complicated visits, we spend more time with patients and we spend more time on paperwork, documenting necessary things required for each level of service. And at Reimbursement Rx, we take pride in greatly going into depth and detail and explaining how billing should work. And this is part of our seminar, of course, but this is not what we're talking about here. And of course, the more complicated your patient is, the more time you spend, and the more reimbursement is for that level of service. So now the new proposal is that we're all going to get paid the same, somewhere between level 3 and 4, closer to level 3, regardless of how complex your patient is. That's right. Whether your patient is there for a sore throat, a cough, a heart failure, diabetes, coronary artery disease, cancer, end-stage kidney disease, combination of all these, it doesn't matter. You are going to get paid the same lower rate. In turn, you will only have to document the required components of the level 2 visit, which is not very much. Well, it sounds good, right? It sounds that, well, we're going to get paid one flat fee, and then we don't have to write as much. And that way we can see more patients, or that way we can spend more time with the patient and not so much concentrating on paperwork. Well, again, as always, we as physicians are getting screwed because non-physician administrator in the government has come up with a new set of rules, new set of regulations that have nothing to do with reducing the overall burden of healthcare as far as expenditures are concerned, and has nothing to do with improving healthcare. Well, let's take it one step further. Let's just say all you see are uncomplicated sore throats, coughs, and minor skin abrasions. Well, that's great. You're probably charging level 2 or 3 visits for that, and under the new system, you will get paid just a little bit more than level 3 visit. So in that case, you will win out. But this doesn't happen. I'm not aware of any practice, any physician, at any specialty who would see just simple patients like that. A lot of us see very complex patients. We see patients who have complications of 1 or 2 or 3 disease entities that requires time, that requires effort, that requires medication reconciliation, that requires review of blood tests, of other notes, of lab results, of everything. That's going to take some time. And to even suggest that we are going to be content with just one level payment for everything is absolutely ludicrous, unless we're being reimbursed at level 5 visit for everything. In that case, life is beautiful. Sure, I think all of us will agree that by being reimbursed level 5 visit and requiring level 2 documentation, we're all going to be happy, because those little sore throats will get them out of our way, and we still get paid adequately, and then we'll spend time on our sicker patients, and for which we'll get reimbursed as much as we should get reimbursed. Now, we're not dumb. We know that this is not going to happen either. So what is the solution? Well, under this system, let's just think about one other thing that no one's talking about. Why do we need to document all those things? Why do we need to write so much in our notes and not get paid for this? Well, the main reason, one of the reasons, of course, that we need to document so much is that if it didn't get documented, it did not happen, right? You know who's salivating? Well, the malpractice attorneys, of course. Because if you don't put everything that you talk to the patient about, if you don't review side effect of every medication, interaction of medications, if you don't go in depth, then first of all, you're going to dumbify care, you're not going to provide excellent care, and also you're going to put yourself at risk. So one thing we need to see with the system is some sort of a tort reform, where we're being told that, well, you know, you can no longer be sued for anything, or you can no longer be taken to court for frivolous cases, and this is not happening. So right there and then, this proposal is insane. Number 2, maybe some primary care doctors, internal medicine or family practice, maybe some pediatricians will see value in this new system because they don't see as many complicated patients. But what about specialists? What about your cardiologist? What about your gastroenterologist, your pulmonologist, your rheumatologist, anyone? When they see your patients, they see them because they're complicated. They see them because they at least perform a level 4 or 5 service. And to tell them that now they're only going to get paid a little bit more level 3 is insane, is ludicrous, and it will absolutely dilute care, and it will lead to the fact that most physicians will not be able to accept Medicare payments anymore, will not be able to accept Medicare patients anymore. Is that what we want? Is that the care we want? Now what can you do? What should you do? Well, for once, you should be absolutely and totally outraged at this. You should talk to your local government. You should talk to your local chapter of American Medical Association. Talk to your senator. Talk to your representative. And make sure that this insane, ridiculous, and absolutely, frankly, stupid law never passes. I'm Dr. Lukowski with Reimbursement Rx with our extra weekly update. Thank you for watching.